Nike just released a brand new commercial featuring Caitlin Clark and her new Kobe shoe that she released today. And I saw this commercial yesterday on social media. I thought it was so cool. There's a shot when she's in the locker room and she opens her eye and it like turns into what looks like a snake eye, but when you zoom in, it's actually the Kobe logo.
A'ja Wilson is furious when Nike pulled the ultimate corporate plot twist. Nike suddenly woke up and smelt the reality check after years of investing millions in Wilson's brand while watching Caitlin Clark burn the internet down every time she breathes near a basketball court. All along, they have been placing bets on the incorrect horse. And A'ja is going through a complete meltdown now that they're focusing on the woman who actually moves merchandise. It's not only about shoes, people. In 2025, Nike will finally acknowledge that they have been favoring a customer whose sneakers gather dust while Clark's items cause their website to break down faster than a dial-up connection.
Nike finally delivers Caitlin Clark PE. Is this the first Caitlin Clark exclusive Nike commercial since she's entered the WNBA? I know she's made a cameo here, she's made a cameo there, she was featured as part of this rollout here, featured as part of this rollout there, but is this our first official Caitlin Clark solo commercial since she has joined the WNBA?
Let's talk about numbers since, despite what your ego may say, math is always accurate. Indeed, back in May, A'ja Wilson's Nike A1 sneakers sold out in 5 minutes. It seems amazing until you learn that they only produced a small amount, essentially generating fictitious scarcity. In the meantime, 13,000 pairs go in a matter of minutes as Caitlin Clark announces a Kobe cooperation. Minutes, not 5.
Caitlin Clark and Nike are officially dropping Caitlin Clark's Indiana Fever player-exclusive Kobe 5s in just a couple weeks. So this shoe was first seen being worn by Caitlin and was thought to be a colorway made just for her up until just a couple days ago, where Nike's official images of the shoes got leaked and the announcement was made saying that everyone will now have a chance to wear.
The Nike website didn't simply become slower. It essentially gave into the army of Caitlin Clark. On the secondary market, resale values rapidly skyrocketed to $350.00 to $600.00. Clark's goods doesn't simply sell out when it first hits the market. Because of the feeding frenzy it causes, Black Friday appears to be a casual yard sale.
Well, I don't think I'd be in the wrong to say Caitlin Clark's Kobe is the sneaker of the week, and everyone's focus is mostly on this one. If you really wanted that shoe, I hope you put your footwork in, because there's supposedly only 13,000 pairs of sneakers out tomorrow. Combine that with a really high resale value, I expect this shoe to be a relatively difficult call. But my hope seriously is that with Caitlin Clark's sneaker coming out, that this sets a precedent and we might see other exclusive player edition Kobe's drop for the public.
This is where things get hot, though. A'ja received the full princess treatment from Nike, which dedicated 2 solid years to creating her own brand. Personal design input, unique logos, etc. They allowed her to include words from her grandma, Celtic symbols for her parents, and enough personal touches to turn it become a laces-adorned family album.
Look, these things is some fire. I'm telling you, where there's smoke, there is fire, and these things is hitting so hard. And who got a bot? Who a shoe plug? Because I need 2 pairs. I need one for the sneaker wall, and I need one for my feet, because these things is hitting right here. And no, I don't want to pay $600 on Go.
While wearing Kobe hand-me-downs that sell Wilson's handmade creations by margins that would make a mathematician cry, Caitlin Clark is still waiting for her genuine signature shoe. Wilson received all she asked for and more from Nike. However, for some reason, Clark's leftovers create more buzz than Wilson's meticulously constructed brand statements.
I lost all respect for A'ja Wilson. I don't want to hear her opinions. I don't care what she has to say from this point on. When you keep a Nike deal 2 years in secret while you're spewing all that crazy stuff about Caitlin Clark in the Time magazine, read it. Read what she said in the Time magazine. Yet you had a Nike deal the whole entire time.
Subscribe if you're enjoying it. Let's also talk about the obvious problem: A'ja Wilson's self-centeredness. This woman has been running for attention as if she were a candidate for basketball president. She received her signature sneaker and conversation-starting personalized logo. Translation: No one understands it. Malia Obama directed her Nike ads, yet she still acts as though she owes the world something. Clark, meanwhile, simply shows up, plays hoops, and unintentionally turns into the most marketable player Nike has seen since Michael Jordan. Clark is gaining respect by packing arenas and crashing websites without even trying, whereas Wilson is out there demanding it.
So it's finally here. Caitlin Clark sneakers from Nike is finally dropping. She was signed to them last year, and the sneakers is a year late in my opinion, but nonetheless I'm excited because these sneakers is finally coming out. But what does annoy me a little bit is that this is a collaboration with Kobe. Now, Kobe, respect to Kobe, the legend, rest in peace, great basketball player. But in my opinion, Caitlin Clark is a big enough star and she's creating her own legacy. So I feel like, at least for her first sneaker, it shouldn't be a collaboration with any other player, dead or alive, in my opinion. I feel like Caitlin should have, for her first shoe, had her own original design just for her, no collab.
The most amusing aspect is that Nike genuinely attempted to make this work. They extended Wilson's contract by more than $20 million, developed whole marketing campaigns centered around her diamond-in-the-rough persona, and promoted her narrative more aggressively than a commission-driven used car salesperson. However, what Caitlin Clark possesses naturally cannot be produced. Without them having to put in any effort, Clark became Nike's most valuable asset as soon as he signed her to an 8-year, $28 million, zero deal. She receives millions of dollars in free advertisement each time she takes the court while sporting Nike gear. Wilson needs storylines, production crews, and meticulously constructed tales. Clark simply must be there.
And all this was done while the shoes being developed, while the collection's being done. To demonize Caitlin Clark and try to label her as a privileged white girl that's getting all the privileges, even though she earned everything she got. This ain't about color. This is about good and bad. And I find this a little evil. I find this evil. This is beyond bad, because you had the ability to speak up and say, hey, everybody, relax. Don't get on Caitlin Clark. She got a shoe deal. That's cool. I got one too. Mine's taking a little bit, but it's going to come out. Just be patient. She could have came out and said that, but she didn't.
Since the market impact is where Wilson's illusions collide with harsh reality, let's discuss it. Caitlin Clark's economic impact in Iowa alone was projected to be $82,500,000 pennies. It's not a typo. $82,500,000 from a single player in a single state. Her impact goes beyond basketball and into the realm of sheer cultural phenomena. As they were busy attempting to get A'ja Wilson to appear as if she were some sort of basketball fetch from Mean Girls, Nike officials are likely cursing themselves for not noticing that the female Michael Jordan was sitting right there. Nike was too preoccupied with their social justice scorecard to notice the obvious from the beginning. Jordan Rogers, the former director of marketing for Nike Basketball, publicly criticized his former employer for squandering the Caitlin Clark opportunity. They had to be shamed by an ex-insider to realize what everyone else could see. They were forcing a different story on the public while disregarding the fact that Clark was the golden goose. While they were busy attempting to make Wilson the face of women's basketball rather than embracing the real face of women's basketball, Nike stock fell to its lowest level in 5 years.
Nike did not fumble Caitlin Clark. It takes years and years of research and development and building and designing and trialing and erroring to build a custom shoe line. Caitlin Clark has played in only Kobe 5s and Kobe 6s almost exclusively for like the last 3 or 4 years. If they are building a shoe for Caitlin Clark, that Caitlin Clark is going to wear, that she's going to sell, that she's going to give away to her teammates, to her fans, to whomever, it has to be as good as, if not better, than the Kobe 5 or 6. And there's new Kobe variants out, and she doesn't wear them. She signed a $28 million 10-year contract with Nike. Year 2. We're in year 2 of that. The shoes are coming. They have to design them. It takes several years for this to happen. We're not just doing a colorway like Paige Becker.
And all of a sudden, Nike is awakening. When Clark's Kobe sneakers fall, the internet truly collapses, does not encounter significant traffic pauses. Wilson is watching as Clark's informal sneaker release on Tuesday afternoon overshadows her well-planned rollout. The difference is so obvious that it's quite humiliating. To move her merchandise, Wilson needs months of marketing campaigns, promotional tours, and build-up. People are now camped out in front of sneaker retailers like it's a supreme drop, and Clark needs a social media post. However, this is what has truly twisted Asia. At last, Nike is admitting what everyone else has known. Clark sells more than just shoes. Dreams are what she sells. The message is very clear. The market has communicated with its wallets. A'ja Wilson is yesterday's news attempting to remain relevant in the game of tomorrow, while Caitlin Clark represents the future.